Hello everyone, I'm Ekaterina Sava and today I'm excited to share with you my favorite watercolor tricks that will bring your paintings to life. You are just starting out or looking to improve your skills? This lesson is perfect for everyone who wants to create beautiful watercolor pieces. Let's dive in.
It's a natural brush from Squirrel mop, so the number is 6. Especially this one is Alvaro Castañet's brush. So I tried different one, and actually I can say that especially this one is the best mop that I used. Because natural brush takes much water and leave much water on the paper. So for the first washes, it's the perfect brush. After this, when I start working with details, so I can change the brush to synthetic. But in the beginning, I start with natural brush, with the big washes, with much pigment and much color and much water on it. Okay. Now I can change my brush to synthetic. It's flat brush with a cutted angle. So while my paper is still wet, I'm start working with the same colors, but more intensive. Less water, more pigment in it. And start working with some details, some shadows, some lines. You can also add a little bit of orange in the center to make this central part shining more. Mostly I paint like this. Not often. I can also wet my paper from two sides, but I like more and working in this way because you can dedicate um, enough time to your flower and you can stop in every moment that you want. Because with the children, it's really difficult to find 3-4 hours just for painting. That's why working like this, it's more easy for me. Okay. And little by little, I take more pigment and less water in my brush. The pigment is more concentrated. Mostly it's the same colors, but without any gray or dark color like black. So it's just the same colors, only with more intensity, more pigment, less water. So my paper is practically dry. That's why it's time to stop and move to the next flower. So if you didn't finish your flower and your paper becomes dry, it's better to leave it to dry it with hair dryer, totally dry, and only after this to come back and wash your paper once again and continue in the same way.
Painting with watercolor is a real pleasure that is hard to put down. Despite this, I want to make a quick announcement. I'm hosting a free online watercolor workshop where I will be sharing some of my best techniques and secrets to help you to create stunning artworks. This workshop is a great opportunity to improve your painting skill. To join, just follow the link in the description and register. I can't wait to see you and paint together.
So let's do another flower. This white on the top. I prefer to start from the light flowers, from the light to the shadow. So first I'm working with the white flowers, then yellow, and only in the end with the rest of the flowers, red or else. So mostly for the white flowers, the same mixture of cobalt and ochre or cadmium yellow. It depends on the brand because even cadmium yellow from different brands, it can be really different. That's why you need to try the best mixture for these two colors. What do you prefer more? The color needs to be not too green, not too bright, and not too gray. So it needs to be something in the middle. And as you see, it's better to go out of the borders just to create better better border with the background later. So it will be more interesting. After this, I will start working with yellow flowers because my paper is still wet here and it will be very dangerous situation. That's why it's better to move to the yellow part. And in this case, you need to take very intensive yellow color, practically directly from the tube. So don't be afraid, it needs to be very intensive because later your watercolor become dry and the colors become too light. That's why the first wash needs to be enough intensive. After this, we'll take orange. I'm working with the big shapes with the just to create the volume, the light and the shadow of the flower, not detailment. So in the center can be a little bit of green. You see first washes were with a neutral brush. After this, now with synthetic. And little by little, very slowly, I go to into the color that is stronger and more intensive. It's important to go very slowly to this. And while my paper is still wet, I can do some brush strokes to create the petals, small petals, with very intensive and practically with a dry with a dry brush. And little by little, you see our flower become shiny and like a real one. Okay, so we can stop with this one. Let's move to another yellow. Mhm. The same like I did before. Much water in the beginning, then intensive color. Changing my color to orange. It can be even orange with cobalt because it's in the shadow. Mhm. I like to use this, especially this orange. It's transparent orange from Schminke, 218, the numbers. Okay, let's move to synthetic brush. The same mixture, same colors, more intensive. Green in the center. Okay, some details, some vibrations in the center. Okay, then we can change to the smaller brush and in the same way, working with details till my paper is still wet. So in sometimes you use your watercolor in the same way, like you can use acrylic. So I mean, very intensive without any water. Okay, let's stop with this. And we are moving to the second white flower in the center. So we will wash it.
There is one question. What is the number of the synthetic brush?
You know, the brushes, I don't know, maybe it's only synthetic or not, they have numbers, but in different brands, they're different. So this one is 10, I think it's 1 centimeter. Uh, so I have three sizes, 10, maybe 4 and 6, something like this.
Okay, okay. And there is one more question. What is that light blue on top corner of the palette?
This one?
I think so.
Yes, this one is verdite. It's some kind of like cobalt, but with white.
Oh,
So it can be, like yellow, maple yellow. So it's blue and verditer, just cobalt with white.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Sometimes I use it when my mixture of yellow and blue is too green and I need something more gray. That's why I add this white color with white, and it helps me to calm a little bit my mixture, not to make it too strong. I mean, too colorful. So now we are working in the same way, but I will leave some white areas only on the top. The rest I will cover. So I need the same mixture, cobalt blue or even verditer. It can be with yellow. So and I will cover practically everything and changing. So it's like our basic medium color. And in the same mixture, I can add more warm colors like yellow, orange, and more cold, like more blue, more verditer or cobalt. And going out of the borders. And while my paper is still wet, I start working with synthetic brush. Some color in the middle. Okay, and then the same medium mixture for the petals in the shadow. And as you see, I'm not following my drawing, pencil drawing. So it helps me just to be more free with the brush. And I like it because if not, you would copy your pencil drawing, or some of the artists are making drawing from projector, and like making a photo, copying the photo, and it's not interesting. So it's too boring, and you have no life in your drawing and in your brush strokes in your painting. That's why it's much more interesting to create something new during your painting. You're doing your painting. And in this way, I'm doing some petals. Some lines, some shadows are more cold, some of them are warm.
Katya, what kind of, what is the brand of the paper you use?
This one is some watercolor, rough, and 300 grams.
Okay.
So, but also can be Sennelier paper or Winsor & Newton. I like much. Arches, not all the time, but sometimes even arches can be good. It depends. It depends on the place where you're painting, because if the weather, if you are painting on plein air and it's very shining and warm, like in Italy or I don't know in Egypt, I so your paper becomes dry very fast, and you need some kind like the paper like arches that keeps much water in it for a long time. And in the same way, if you are painting in Thailand or in China in the rainy season, it's difficult to work on arches paper because you will never finish your painting. It will be all the time wet. So that's it. Now we are moving, we will leave this flower at the moment. Maybe we'll come back to it later. We are moving to the rest of the flowers. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one on the top. So I decide all the time in different way. So for example, this time I'm painting in this, let's say, okay, never mind. Sometimes I can start with yellow flower, or I can change this regular, this okay, for these small flowers, we will start with a bright, intensive color. It will be alizarin crimson, or even opera can be, because it's enough bright. Then can be mixing with verditer or cobalt blue. It can be the same. Some of the flower is more close, so it's more bright. Another one is on the back. That's why it will be less intensive.
Katya, could you repeat the names of the colors you're using now?
It's alizarin crimson, opera rose, cobalt blue, and that's it. It's the mixture.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for a moment, it's okay like this. Let's move to another peony on the top. I will wash it a little bit before, then the same mixture of quinacridone or opera rose. With the cobalt blue. Then move to synthetic brush to create some details, some brush strokes. With the same flowers, but more intensive pigment. I do not need very detailed part in this part of the flower, the floral composition. So now this flower is on the back. That's why it needs to be very soft, not with many details and much vibrations, without much big contrast. Okay. So then I need to do some small details, small shapes. It will be green, bright green. Oops. So I will take intensive color and put it. So even I didn't do drawing, pencil drawing, so I will do it directly with my brush. When working in negative, when I will do the background. So at the moment I don't care, I need just the shape of the color. So it's good to have some vibrations from warm to cold, from dark to the light. After this, let's do the red flowers. Let's start with this one. Wash it and take very intensive color. Start with alizarin crimson like this. But this flower is not the most important flower in my composition. That's why I need to calm a little bit. So I will add cobalt blue or even a little bit of orange in my mixture, just to make it not so intensive, to put it in the shadow. Okay, and take synthetic brush, the same mixture, but more and more intensive. And I'm doing some details in the center. I don't really care what it is, what petals it is. So it needs to be some vibrations in the shadow. Okay. Let's And let's move to another yellow and orange flower on the top, on the back. So a little bit of color, but not too much. Some vibrations. While it is wet. Then I have this part dry. It's the shape of white flowers. That's why I can do it directly without washing. So it's a mixture of the same colors, cobalt and yellow, not very intensive. So I need to show some details. Okay. And this, the same we can do here. Then let's create the contrast between the flowers. So I have this yellow flower, and to make it, to put it on the back, I need to create the border between this white and that yellow to create some strong contrast. So it can be dark orange. Release. Also could be some dark green elements on leaves. I don't know, let's start with a bright green and then moving to the dark one. In my case, it's perlin green. I use it very often. Okay. Okay, now we need. So we can start with the background, not everywhere, but this part is ready because it's dry. For that, we need to wash it.
Katya, could you please repeat which colors are added to the red, pink, cobalt tint?
Here?
I think so.
So it's alizarin crimson, it's cold strong red, opera rose, cobalt, and maybe orange.
Okay. Yeah. So we move on to the background, yeah?
Yes, let's
okay.
So first of all, I need to wash it very well. Okay, and then I need to make a strong color. Usually I can do it just with the same mixture, same colors like a cobalt or alizarin crimson, mixing these two colors. But this time let's take violet color, intensive violet. So it's like this. And I like when I have not the same background, the same intensity everywhere. So just playing somewhere more strong, somewhere more intensive and with a strong pigment, and changing this intensity all the time. And also mixing the color from cold to warm. Now I'm doing my background. You see somewhere I can leave even white areas, not covering everything. And working in negative, I can create some details, some leaves that I wanted to do in the beginning with this green. Okay. Like this. And I like this brush much because it's, you see, you can do a very detailed work, very small things with this brush. And in the same way, you can do a very soft washes of the background. Okay, now I'm changing my color to the warm. And once again, washing my background in this side. And intensive cold color could be also creating these borders. And it's important in this moment not to forget about the shape of the petals, the shape of the flowers. It needs to be very elegant, and the background needs to be enough interesting, and your flowers needs to be also not boring. Okay, we're coming down.
We have one more question. What brand is the Perlin Green?
Sorry, once again.
What brands of paints do you use for Perlin Green?
I have few of brands. Actually, they're practically similar, and I don't really care what it is because I don't like to use it directly from the tube. Mostly I'm mixing it, and in this case it's not important, so it's not so important for me.
Okay, and one more question. What are the reasons for changing the colors at the background?
Depends. For example, some of the flowers, if I need to make it more shining, I will do the stronger borders, and the contrast between the background and the flower will be stronger. In other cases, I want to make it calm, so it will be practically the same color, like a background and the flower. And in this case, it becomes calm, and you have a feeling that it's in the back. And just to create this effect of perspective.
Okay.
You need to.
Thanks a lot. Interesting. And one more question. Could you repeat the shade's name for green area?
This one?
I think I'm not sure. I think so. Name for green area. I think so.
The color of the green, or
the shade's name? Renuka, could you please repeat your question?
So that's why also I like to work directly on the real workshops, because people can ask the questions and can show you, for example, here, what did you use, or it's sometimes it's easier to connect.
Yeah, specify.
Yes.
That's true. Otherwise, like recorded online courses where everything is clear, crystal clear, what is used here and there.
Yes.
That's true.
But in our situation, the workshops and the demos like this, it's the best way to be alive. It's to still work in this situation in the world. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we are moving to the another part of the background. The red flower on the back. So it also needs to be done wet on wet, not with a bright, intensive color. It needs to be intensive, but not too bright. Something like this. And even here, I will do some.
Okay, the question about green was about those tiny leaves. What is the name of the green used there for those small leaves?
Name of the green color?
Yeah. I think
it was I think some green, simple green with a yellow It could be, so it's a mixture of different, of a little bit of orange. So practically I never use directly from the tube. All the time mixing the color.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and now you see our flowers become shiny. I'll wash it like this. And maybe I will do a little bit here in the bottom. A few washes of the background. You can start directly with the synthetic brush. And also I need to make the difference between these two flowers. At the moment they are practically the same, so I need to cover that one that's in the shadow. I need to cover with the same basic color. We can come back to the small details on the top. So it's one of the most common and important questions for the watercolor artist. What is the time when you need to stop your painting? So I think when you feel that your painting is about 75% to the finish, so it's time to stop. It's better not to finish it, but it's better than overwork. So that's why you can finish it before, and on the next day you have a fresh eye and you can see all your mistakes, and you can finish it with another power, with another view. So let's maybe add a little bit of more contrast here.
How many containers of water you've been using? You've actually changed while painting?
It's interesting question because practically I never changed my water. So all the painting I did with the same mixture of the water, and I didn't clean my palette as you saw, because all the time you're using the same colors, and I prefer not to have a big palette, not to use all the time from different color. I mean, when you use too many colors, you start working like a puzzle. Your painting becomes a puzzle. And just to unite your painting, you need to use few colors and just start mixing and creating your own vibrations, your own mixtures, and all the time, even on your palette are the same colors, and in your water also the same colors, and it helps me to unite my painting.
Yeah.
So I think in this moment we can stop our painting. So all the time, all the artists think that you can do more. Yes, also it's a good feeling, but sometimes it's better to stop in the right moment.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes.
Wow, so beautiful. Bravo.
It's the most interesting part when you um, cancel, when you move out your tape, and the painting becomes shining, and even it's still wet, but even now you can see it very well.
I hope this video was helpful for you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we assist all individuals in mastering their skills of drawing and immersing themselves in the wonderful world of art. Don't forget to follow the link in the video description and register to my marathon. See you there soon.